The blood is already boiling, and the passion continues. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mamba's Starlight stage. What will you think of when it comes to Klay Thompson? And what I think of is that he kills the game in crucial moments, with his cold-blooded performance, his almost perfect top-level three-point shooting touch, and his famous name Splash Brothers that strikes fear into the hearts of his opponents. The first round of the play-in tournament in the 2025 season, the Dallas Mavericks defeated the Sacramento Kings with a score of 120-106. This game has a lot of grudges between the two teams. I have summarized 3 points. The first point is worth mentioning. In the last game between the two teams, Kyrie Irving suffered a torn left anterior cruciate ligament, which directly led to his season being ended. This made the players of the Dallas Mavericks even more determined to win this game, different from the battle between the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies. For the 7th and 8th places the day before, this game is a life and death battle for the Dallas Mavericks and the Sacramento Kings, who are in the 9th and 10th places. Whoever wins will stay in the competition, and whoever loses will be directly eliminated. Finally, the Dallas Mavericks won the game, and the outcome was decided in the first half. First, let's still have a 2-minute review of the game. The game started, both teams quickly got into the game. Keegan Murray ran to the top of the arc without the ball, caught the ball and quickly shot a three-pointer, which he made steadily. Then, after holding the ball to attract the defense, he passed the ball to Domantas Sabonis, who was in position under the basket. The latter caught the ball and made an easy layup to score. Then, after Anthony Davis matched up with Domantas Sabonis, he made a sudden stop and a fadeaway jump shot as a response. Then, Marshall was in hot form and scored 7 consecutive points. He helped the Dallas Mavericks start the game with a 17-10 run. In the following time, the two teams kept the score very close. Zach LaVine drove all the way to the basket and made a layup. In turn, Williams shot from the outside. He made a three-pointer to penetrate the defense and fight back. At the beginning of the second quarter, the two teams engaged in a three-point shooting battle, but the outside shooting of the Dallas Mavericks seemed to be better. Next comes the exciting moment. In the situation of missing all 12 shots in the play-in tournament against the Sacramento Kings in a row, Klay suddenly regained his shooting touch and made 2 consecutive three-pointers. In less than half a quarter, the Dallas Mavericks launched an offensive wave with a score of 20-6, forcing the Sacramento Kings to call a timeout. After that, the Dallas Mavericks maintained their lead with full momentum. Klay continued his good shooting touch and made 2 more three-pointers from the outside. Up to now, all of Klay's 4 shots from the outside have been made. In the following time, the Dallas Mavericks basically dominated the game unilaterally. Klay even contributed a performance of stealing the ball, counterattacking, and making a fast break layup. Klay had scored 16 points in a single quarter. DeMar DeRozan used his footwork to drive to the basket and made a layup to barely keep the team in the game, but then came a small outburst from Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis scored 8 consecutive points both inside and outside the paint. In the second quarter, the Dallas Mavericks got a score of 44-19 and entered the second half with a 23-point lead. DeMar DeRozan continued to attack the basket, but after being blocked by a shot from Daniel Gafford, the Dallas Mavericks counterattacked. Dante Exum made a steady three-pointer. The transition only took 6 seconds. The Dallas Mavericks instantly widened the score gap to more than 20 points again. In the following time, although the Sacramento Kings scored more points, they still couldn't make further progress. The situation on the court was already irreversible. The players of the Sacramento Kings had fallen into a perfunctory state. Klay staged a wonderful performance again in the final quarter. He easily scored more than 20 points. DeMar DeRozan responded continuously, but it was already useless. Finally, the Dallas Mavericks easily won the game 120-106 on the road. The Dallas Mavericks will go to Memphis for the next game. They will compete with the Memphis Grizzlies for the last playoff spot in the Western Conference, and the Sacramento Kings played their last game of the season at home and entered the offseason. The second grudge between the two teams is related to Klay. Throughout the game, Klay's plus-minus value was as high as +31, the most difficult record to break in Klay's career. 37 points in a single quarter was exactly achieved against the Sacramento Kings. In 2024, Klay was still wearing the jersey of the Golden State Warriors. He had the worst personal performance in his career. In the play-in tournament against the Sacramento Kings, he missed all 10 shots and didn't score a single point. After the game, Klay's feelings of disappointment could be felt even through the screen, and in this way, he bid farewell to his career with the Golden State Warriors. It was from that moment on, the fans then realized that this championship shooter, who accompanied us through our youth, was no longer young, and fate is like a cycle. 1 year later, in the same play-in tournament for the 9th and 10th places, Klay, who had joined the Dallas Mavericks, met the Sacramento Kings again. This time, Klay didn't let people down. Throughout the whole game, Klay performed extremely calmly. His explosive three-point shooting touch and his hard-working defensive attitude made people feel both familiar and unfamiliar. He led the team to end the suspense of the game. In this way, he broke through the difficulties of the past, with 23 points in a single game, 16 points in a single quarter, and a plus-minus value of plus 31. He helped the team win a crucial victory, and there is no doubt that Anthony Davis was also a key player for the Dallas Mavericks in this game. Throughout the whole game, Anthony Davis played for a total of 35 minutes. He made 9 out of 23 field goals, 3 out of 6 three-pointers, and 6 out of 6 free throws, scoring 27 points, grabbing 9 rebounds and blocking 3 shots. It is worth noting that Anthony Davis only made 2 out of 9 field goals in the first quarter. He made 0 out of 2 three-pointers and scored 4 points. He almost missed every shot from the outside, but in the next 3 quarters, Anthony Davis made 7 out of 14 field goals. His shooting touch recovered completely. From inside the paint to mid-range shots and three-pointers, he scored 23 points. In addition to his excellent performance on the offensive end, on the defensive end, the combination of Anthony Davis, Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford also performed very well. Under the defense of these 3 players, the star player of the Sacramento Kings, Domantas Sabonis, only made 5 out of 13 field goals throughout the game. He only scored 11 points, and he also had the lowest plus-minus value of minus 26 in the whole game. The last person involved in the grudge is Anthony Davis. Just 1 year ago, Domantas Sabonis was still the nemesis of Anthony Davis. In the first 10 matchups in his career, Anthony Davis lost all of them. But from then until now, Anthony Davis has had a 5-game winning streak against Domantas Sabonis. It's really hard to say who is whose nemesis now. After the game, Kyrie Irving, who had been away from the court for a long time, still cared about the team. He praised the performance of the whole team immediately. "You guys played really great today. We must stay united no matter what. I really miss Kyrie Irving. If Kyrie Irving can stay healthy, this Dallas Mavericks team might be favored by more people." In addition, according to medical experts' reports, Kyrie Irving, who was ruled out for the season due to injury in the middle of the season, may need more time to recover. His return time will be at least until the All-Star weekend of the next season. After this news was reported, it cast a shadow over the Dallas Mavericks championship prospects again. So, will the Dallas Mavericks have a major roster change during the offseason? Well, that's something for later. Of course, the journey of the Dallas Mavericks has not ended yet. In the next play-in game, the Dallas Mavericks will face the Memphis Grizzlies. The two teams met 4 times this season and each won 2 games. However, after the trade of Luka Dončić, the two teams only played 1 game. In that game, the Dallas Mavericks, without Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving and many other main players, collapsed in the fourth quarter. They lost by 11 points. Both teams have a strong inside presence. The matchup between the Twin Towers will be the main theme, and the data shows that Anthony Davis's average data against the Memphis Grizzlies in the regular season reached an amazing 30.5 points and 15 rebounds. In terms of the team's offensive and defensive efficiency, Anthony Davis is very likely to be the key for the Dallas Mavericks to win. In addition, the current lineup of the Memphis Grizzlies has an obvious problem, that is the size of the frontcourt. Wells, especially after the rookie Kenneth Lofton Jr. was injured, they can only move Desmond Bane to the small forward position. Then the tall frontcourt players PJ and Reggie Bullock and the Dallas Mavericks will launch attacks one after another. Of course, the Memphis Grizzlies also have obvious advantages, that is Ja Morant. His explosive ability will give the backcourt of the Dallas Mavericks a big headache. But after suffering an ankle sprain yesterday, how much of his form can Ja Morant recover? At present, this is uncertain. Judging from the regular season records, the Memphis Grizzlies won 48 games and the Dallas Mavericks won 39 games. There is a considerable gap between the two teams, but a large part of the Dallas Mavericks' poor record this season is due to injuries. The core players have experienced some injuries and suspensions. The current Dallas Mavericks can't be said to be in good health either. After all, they are without Kyrie Irving, but as long as Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, C.J. Washington, Klay Thompson, and Reggie Bullock are on the team, the Dallas Mavericks are a real threat. Suppose that the Dallas Mavericks really win against the Memphis Grizzlies in the next play-in game, then the Dallas Mavericks will become the first team in the history of the play-in tournament to advance to the playoffs as the 10th seed. They will face the Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoffs. This matchup is quite interesting. First of all, in the semifinals of the playoffs last year, it is the Mavericks who eliminated the top-seeded Thunder in the Western Conference. Secondly, although the Oklahoma City Thunder only lost 14 games this season, 3 of those 14 losses were given by the Dallas Mavericks. Anthony Davis, Gafford, Lively, Washington. The front court group led by Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively and C.J. Washington will definitely cause a lot of trouble for the Oklahoma City Thunder, which has a relatively smaller size. What if Klay Thompson can hit three-pointers in time, then will it be the miracle of the 10th seed? You never know, of course. Before considering this possibility, the first thing the Dallas Mavericks need to do is to prepare well for the next game. Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane are still not easy to deal with, just like in the last game, when they fought until the last moment against the Golden State Warriors. At this point, I can't help but sigh that fortunately the Golden State Warriors won the last game. Otherwise, with the current lineup of the Golden State Warriors, if they really faced the Dallas Mavericks led by Anthony Davis, the result would be hard to predict. Well, that's all for today's video. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.